Hi, I'm Howie Gordon, and welcome to Montgomery County Community College's SRT program. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of our vintage electromechanical instruments, the Hohner Clavinet. This instrument is actually based on an instrument that first appeared in the Renaissance era, somewhere around 1400 AD, called a clavichord. This is one of the precursors to a piano, and it existed around the same time as a harpsichord and the pipe organ. This actually beat the piano by about 300 years. What happened in the 70s is that the Hohner company, famous for making harmonicas, took the design of the clavichord and added single-coil electromagnetic guitar pickups to it, just like a Fender Stratocaster, and made a brand new instrument called the clavinet, or what most people call clav for short. The interior of the instrument, as seen in this graphic, shows a number of strings, very thin metal strings like on an electric guitar, one string for every key. And at the end, there are two pickups like on a guitar, one that you could equate to the bridge pickup and one that you could equate to the neck pickup. When you depress the key, there's a little rubber hammer tip that pushes the string down and makes sound by forcing it against a metal play area underneath, which is basically the equivalent of doing a hammer-on a guitar. First of all, in order to turn the instrument on, there's an on switch right here. Now, strangely enough, this instrument is actually powered by 9-volt batteries located in this compartment here. As you can probably guess, the 9-volt batteries don't last forever, so make absolutely certain that when you're done playing, you turn the instrument off to save the batteries. Down here we have a volume knob, which controls the output of the instrument. And this instrument will need to be plugged into an external source. Usually a guitar amp works best, as it does have a lot of tone similar to that of electric guitar. The output is back here. It's a 1/4-inch output, and you can plug directly into an amp or any effects pedals of your choice. Any pedals that work with guitar generally sound good with a clav. Over here, we have 4 tone control switches and 2 pickup control switches. For this to work, one of the tone control switches has to be on. If they're all off, nothing happens. So we at least need one of these on. Now, this is brilliant, which is super high-end. They're like EQ switches. That's treble. That's medium, so we're getting progressively lower in the frequency spectrum. And this is soft. So you can use any combination of them that you like. My personal usual starting point is to go brilliant, treble, and medium and lay off the soft because it can get a little muddy in your mixes sometimes, but as always, experiment. Over here, we have 2 switches. One is labeled C and D. The other is labeled A and B. Now, what this does is it changes the configuration of the pickups, just like a pickup selector on an electric guitar. When C is selected, only one of the pickups is active, and you can change which pickup you want to hear by selecting either A or B. When A is active, it's the neck pickup, so it's going to be a little bit more bass heavy like the neck pickup on an electric guitar. Incidentally, that's the same setting Stevie Wonder used in his song Big Brother. If you change to B, while still remaining on C, you're now hearing the bridge pickup. So it's a little bit less bassy and more treble. Okay. Now, if we go to the other side and hit D mode, what that means is that both pickups are now active. So D and A means that both pickups are playing and they are in phase with each other. So this is the biggest sound that you'll get out of the instrument. If you switch to B in this mode, you have both pickups, but they're wired out of phase with each other. So you get a very, very thin sound. Which can actually be super helpful for cutting through a mix. On the right of the instrument, we have a mute slider. Now, when it's all the way forward, it's not engaged, so all the notes will ring freely across the entire range of the instrument. As we push it forward, I'm going about halfway at this point, the strings will start to get muted the further up you travel on the keyboard, usually leaving your low end intact. So here's the low end, unaffected, but as you go up, You can see they don't quite sustain as much, and if we go all the way forward, very, very plucky and short, again leaving your low end intact. All the strings are ringing as freely as they normally would. And then this is where we go halfway through. You can hear they start to get plucky. But again, your low end is left intact. And this is the all the way up. While there have been a ton of songs that just use the direct sound of the clav going into an amp, guitar pedals really up your game. One of the most common effects associated with a clav is a wah pedal. Another common effect is the envelope filter. Basically, any pedal that works great on a guitar will sound great on this. Use whatever you want. Chorus, flange, phaser, distortion, anything. The sky is the limit. So remember, use your imagination and stay funky.